Hi, dears. We shall learn about William Shakespeare, the most important figure in English literature, who was born in 1564 and died in 1616. William Shakespeare. About his early years, he was born in Stratford upon Avon, the river Avon. He was born in a place called Stratford in England. He was the son of a prominent town official, third child of 8 children, and he received excellent education with heavy focus on grammar and literature. William Shakespeare married at the age of 18 to Anne Hathaway, who was 26 when Shakespeare married her, and who was also pregnant with his child. Their first child was a daughter, Susanna, born in 1583. Then they had twins Hamnet and Judith, born in 1585. Hamnet dies at age of 11. The period between 1585 and 1592 is known as the lost years because there are no documentary records of Shakespeare's activity. Shakespeare then moved to London around 1591 and became an actor. He worked with the Lord Chamberlain's company of players, later known as King's Men. Along with acting, he also wrote some of the most renowned and studied literature written in the English language. He had written poems, and he is famous for his 157 sonnets. He had written plays, comedies, tragedies, and histories. The comedies written by Shakespeare are All Is Well That Ends Well, As You Like It, Comedy of Errors, Measure for Measure, Midsummer Night's Dream, Taming of the Shrew, Much Ado About Nothing, Twelfth Night, Merchant of Venice. And some of the tragedies written by Shakespeare are Julius Caesar, Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, Romeo and Juliet, King Lear. The history plays written by Shakespeare are King Henry V, King John, Richard II, Richard III, and he wrote 37 very successful plays. His vocabulary was huge, somewhere between 17,000 and 34,000 words. The estimated vocabulary of an educated person today is around 15,000 words. It is then Shakespeare had the vocabulary between 17,000 and 34,000 words. He had an amazing influence on our English language. The phrases like, I couldn't sleep a wink, he was dead as a doornail, she's a tower of strength, they hoodwinked us, we'd better lie low for a while, I am constant as the northern star. It is all Greek to me. These are all phrases coined by Shakespeare. More words that first appeared in his plays, like accommodation, assassination, dexterously, dislocate, obscene, reliance, premeditate, lonely, gloomy, fretful, suspicious, hurry, are the words that first appeared in Shakespeare's play. Or, in a way, we can say that these words have been contributed to English vocabulary by Shakespeare. And about the later years of Shakespeare, Shakespeare returned to Stratford, his birthplace, around 1610, where he lived as a country gentleman. Wealthy, owned one of the largest homes in town. He became very wealthy, a wealthy person with a successful place, and he owned one of the largest homes in the Stratford town. He died in Stratford in 1616 at the age of 52. His death was a mystery. It is rumored that he drank too much and contracted a fever, or that he died from a cerebral hemorrhage. He lived in Elizabethan Age. Shakespeare lived in Elizabethan England. Shakespeare lived and wrote during what is known as the Elizabethan Renaissance, which lasted from about 1485 through the 1660s. This period is also known as Elizabethan Age, named after Queen Elizabeth, who ruled England from 1558 to 1603. This is Queen Elizabeth. We know Queen Elizabeth II is the present monarch of Britain. This is Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen. About Elizabethan age, during the Queen's reign, society celebrated poets. Elizabethans would be surprised to learn that their age would become best known for its theatre, as most considered drama a less distinguished form of literature than poetry. Elizabethans actually promoted Elizabethan period, Elizabethan England actually promoted poets, but at present, Elizabethan England is known for the best plays, and most of these plays were contributions from Shakespeare. England was flourishing and London was becoming one of the largest cities in Europe. However, life was not easy for everyone. Catholics experiences religious persecution during that time. Catholics experienced religious persecution. Women were subject to many restrictions. Most English people endured crowded living conditions and unsatisfactory diet. Rich and poor alike were defenseless against bubonic plague. In 1564, the year Shakespeare was born, nearly one third of his hometown died of the plague. Shakespeare also lost many siblings to plague, and his son Hamnet. This is the fashion in Elizabethan age. We can see these kinds of dress in the characters, in the plays of Shakespearean characters. This is the fashion. And about Globe Theatre. Shakespeare and the Lord Chamberlain's men performed at Burbage's Theatre until 1599 when they built their own playhouse, the Globe Theatre. It is in the Globe Theatre Shakespeare's plays have been played. Shakespeare referred to the globe as this wooden O, a term that led scholars to believe it was a circular building. This is Globe Theatre. It was located just outside London. A white flag indicates that there's a play today. People can come and watch the play, and we can see the arrangement, the setup of this theater. The rich people sat in the gallery, and the poor people stood in this pit. And this is the stage. There is no drop curtain, there is no curtain during the time of Shakespeare. Plays were performed during the day. The groundling, the poor people, stood by the stage. The wealthy sat in the upper decks. Young men dressed up to play the female roles. No women performed, there were no female actresses during the time of Shakespeare. The young men, boys, performed the role of girls or the women characters during Shakespeare's time. Attending Shakespeare's theatre was quite different from attending theatre today, which is thought of as very quiet and austere. In Elizabethan England, it was a noisy, popular gathering place for people of all ages and from all walks of life. Okay. The original Globe Theatre was destroyed by a fire in 1613. It was rebuilt in 1614, closed in 1642, and demolished in 1644. A modern reconstruction of the original Globe, named Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, opened in 1994. So, this is the present Globe Theatre. Okay, these are all about Shakespeare. Shakespeare had written 37 plays, including comedy, tragedy, and history plays, 157 sonnets, uh, which are mainly his uh, personal life has been reflected in these sonnets, and he had written two long poems also. These two long poems are Venus and Adonis and Rape of Lucrece. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.